And as this huge crowd settles in for the Argonauts and the Ticats, I mentioned that Hamilton head coach Greg Marshall was quite a running back at the University of Western Ontario. In 1980, he won the Heck Crichton Award. He had a Western Ontario record, 317 yards in one game. An outstanding runner and a great football coach at McMaster University here in Hamilton. And he is certainly proving the skeptics wrong as he has adjusted to the professional game. For more on the new Hamilton head coach, once again, here's Brenda Irving. Brenda?
Well, Brian, as you well know, the Ticats raised a few eyebrows when they announced that Greg Marshall was going to be their new head coach. You know, a lot of people wondered just how a coach who had only been with university and high school players would adapt to coaching the pros. And as Greg Marshall will be the first one to tell you, it took some time and a lot of effort before the two sides really saw eye to eye. Greg Marshall seems to have the world by the tail. He's got the Tiger Cats winning. The city loves him. And the stands at Ivor Wynne are full again. But all this success hasn't stopped him from realizing there are those who resent him for jumping the queue.
Well, because you were the first Canadian university coach to jump into a head coaching position in the CFL, you know, there's so many people that are supporting you, but at the same time, there are a few who would like to see you fail.
A lot of people are probably a little leery of a new coach coming, you know, directly out of university. It hadn't been done before. They're going to look to see if, you know, Greg Marshall can, you know, has got what it takes. And I know there's more people that want me to do well, and that they know that I've worked hard. I've coached a lot of football.
Get it together right now!
But all that coaching was at the college level. In the CFL, Greg Marshall's a rookie.
Now you got to have cover the square.
Even though he's undefeated at 3-0, there are still those who aren't sure he's ready for the pros. His animated behavior on the sidelines isn't the sort of thing you're used to seeing from a CFL head coach.
He sure isn't a wallflower. He's out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's almost scared to get congratulated from him because he comes up and smacks you pretty good and gives you a real strong handshake.
I've always been like that. I go into every game thinking, you know, all right, okay, you got to make sure that we're under control, you got decisions to make, all those things. But you know what? What happens is you get caught up in the emotions of the game. And honestly, I don't, you just, that's me.
He's excited, and I think the players feed off that.
But it hasn't been all smooth sailing between the first-year coach and his veteran Ticat players. Marshall didn't make any friends when he banned the practice of rookie initiation. And while university athletes may have responded well to Marshall's tough approach to coaching, the full contact practices he ran in training camp didn't go over well with the pros. And they let him know.
I think that was probably going to be his biggest obstacle, is coaching at the pro level and dealing with players that make their living at this rather than it's more than just a game to win.
Winning his first 3 games has made things easier, for now. But Marshall will probably be coaching under a microscope for some time to come.
There are people that will be jealous of his success, and there are people waiting for him to fall. But there are a lot more people that are trying to raise him up and make sure that he has everything that he needs to be successful.
I'm confident in my abilities, and I've said many times that, you know, it's coaching football. It's something that I know. Yes, it's professional. Yes, the athletes are different, but it's about getting to know them. And you know what? There's no manual that came with this job. You have to learn on the job, and that, you know, that's kind of what I try to do here every day.
And you know what? Greg Marshall says he's not special. He says there are other people in the Canadian university system that could do the same thing that he is doing if given the chance. So I think he's feeling a little bit of pressure to be successful so that others may be able to follow in his footsteps, Brian.
You know, it's interesting, Brenda. He took over a tough situation at McMaster and turned it around at the university. I was speaking with Ken Peters and Steve Milton on the Hamilton Spectator. I went to high school here. There's a great high school tradition. Jim Young, Dirty 30, came out of this city. But there was a a division between the Ticats, McMaster, and the high school. Thanks to Marshall, Lancaster, and Sauvé, they're all back on the same page. Greg, you and of course Sean played university football in this country. Are you surprised that a Canadian university coach is doing so well?
Well, I don't find it surprising at all. And being a Canadian myself, and I haven't had to go up against the same sort of prejudices that I'm sure Greg Marshall has endured, and I'm sure Greg has experienced that as well. I feel that talent is talent. If you have the ability to play, you should be given that opportunity, and I think Greg Marshall has the ability to coach, and that is why he's being afforded the opportunity.
Like you said right there, it's about opportunity, and Greg Marshall has been given an opportunity to be able to come in and perform. He's very qualified. There are a number of qualified coaches in the CIS that could step up and be able to coach at the professional level, and hopefully that opportunity will be given to them more so down the way.
Darren Flutie went to school in the States, but told me last year when we did a game here, he would be a good choice to be head coach of this football team, and he's done a smart thing with your buddy Danny McManus. He was patient and didn't get rid of McManus like so many people wanted him to.
Well, he was a great choice, first of all, because he just coaches. He knows one way to do it, and he does it. And his approaching the Danny McManus situation, where a lot of people were calling to get rid of Danny McManus, was, okay, hey, let's line the guy up. Let's put him against the other guys we got. Let's see how he plays. He watched Danny play. He saw what we all saw last year. He was throwing the ball well. He was reading the defense as well. He was working out hard, getting in shape. He said, this is my best guy. He gives me the best chance to win, and he stuck with Danny Mac.